Welcome to In the Front Row LA. My name is Cjay Bussey. On Instagram, I go by Cjblamen. We are now starting a new fashion segment called Are You Interested? And the first person that we wanted to reach out to and get in contact with was NextOnes, hosted by our guy Avery. And I'm going to let Avery take the mic. Go ahead.
Yo, what's up, guys? My name's Avery. You can follow me at NextOnes Avery on all social medias on Instagram and Twitter. And happy to be here.
All right, well, thank you we're glad that you was able to join us today. The first segment we're going to start off with is the origin. What was the reason why you guys started NextOnes? What was your purpose? What was your goal? And just tell us a little more about what is the driven goal for NextOnes.
NextOnes obviously is personal for me, not only, starting it, but my experience in basketball was what drove me to start this company with my co-founders. So basically, to be a NextOnes is to be underlooked, underexposed, but have the talent, but might not get the opportunities that other prospects might get. A lot of people put in the same work. Obviously, basketball is a popular sport to reach their goals, but not everyone gets picked. If there's politics or playing time, coaching decisions, there's a lot of factors of people not reaching their goals. So NextOnes is an outlet for the 99% of athletes that might not have that reach that 1% to get into the NBA, but still have the opportunity to be seen and basically have their craft be a business.
Okay. Businessman, hey, this is the guy you guys want to get onto, man. Just a little bit more about you. You did mention that you was a basketball player yourself, and just let us know a little bit about your background in basketball and what drove you to play basketball to the level that you went to.
Cool. I guess we could throw it all the way back. Like my mom is from LA, my dad's from Jamaica. So as soon as I can remember, I had a ball in my hand, something that he fell in love with, and he came over here, and I played competitively. It's probably since I was in 6th grade. I'm from Long Beach, and just developed a love for the game. Honestly, to this day, I love every aspect of it, from off the court, on the court, contracts, transactions, everything about basketball. So, started to really take it seriously in high school. Ended up going to school in Huntington Beach, and a lot of opportunities came from there. And then I played collegiately at USF, University of San Francisco, and then transferred to UC Davis. Shout out to the Ags, go Ags. And then I played professionally in Australia. And then from my experience there, it's kind of what stemmed the NextOnes idea. Okay.
Well, seeing that you have built this brand, I know it wasn't you by yourself. I just want to get a little background and like a little behind the scenes on who else is in this company brand that you guys built up to make it to where it's at today.
Yeah, definitely didn't do it by myself. Wouldn't be here without the team effort. But I would say I have 2 all-star fives. For my executive team, my 2 co-founders, Sami and Mike Paley. Shout out to them. Without them, I wouldn't be any remotely close to where I'm at right now, or where we're at right now. Also, my best friend Anthony, Mike, as you know from the runs, and then also we have a great team of interns and friends that help us out that believe in the cause and what we're doing and want to be a part of our growth and our building. So, I can't do without that team. The NextOnes team, for sure.
Man, well, congratulations to the team, man. It is a foundation that everybody's looking upon. You guys are in LA making a lot of noise over the summer. You guys are having open runs. You guys are bringing in high school, underrated high school players, even top recruited athletes in the LA area. I've been there myself. The runs are ecstatic. I've seen you partner with KJP, Kaiser Jenner Parker, at his facility, and it just opened the doors for you guys to have as many runs, up to 7 very intense games by ones. It's some of the best runs I've been to in LA. And I think that as you keep getting your work out there and you guys keep progressing and promoting it, everybody's going to want to keep coming. And the next thing just following behind that is, what is the career goal for NextOnes? Like, what do you see yourself taking NextOnes to?
I see NextOnes being a complete platform for basketball players to connect with fans, brands, and give people a 360 view of who they are. There are a lot of the platforms out there that we see are verticalized in different aspects. But what NextOnes has is a one-stop shop of everything you need, from stats, highlights, connectivity, live streams, pictures, photos, everything you need. You want basketball, and most importantly, while we're here, gear. and that's one of the aspects that obviously we're going to talk about later. And an important aspect of the off the court aspect life of basketball players we see with league fits and even with just Instagram. A lot of people are just tagging their stuff, and we want to give athletes an outlet to express themselves and get off their personal brands, and in addition to market themselves with brands that already sponsor them or attract sponsorships.
Man, I'm glad you mentioned that. Perfect example. You mentioned the league fits. Miss Shireen had actually got me involved in the fashion segment and showed me a lot of different type of brands that do the same thing as league fits, and that's where we kind of started off coming up with these ideas for Are You Interested? Because we want to know what the consumer is interested in and why do they choose this type of fashion. What else connects them to the fashion? It's more than just buying clothes. Like, why do people buy Yeezys and why do people buy Supreme? What's the message behind it? And we see that you guys have a solid message and a foundation to where people want to wear this in the winter time and before games, and it's cozy, it's comfy, it's hoodies. And my next thing would be for you as typically the CEO, what kind of fashion do you look to do? Do you look to do like an ongoing line, or do you look to do like a demand and supply? Like if an athlete's like, hey, Avery, man, I want to just get a hoodie. Can you make something for me? I want to purchase that from you. Or are you looking to do complete fashion and sweats, socks, the whole nine in that aspect?
Yeah, so right now we're starting with the hoodies. Honestly, we have big plans when it comes to merch. Shout out to Mike. Me and him, we collab on a lot of ideas. Next one's Mike. There's a lot of Mikes within our organization, so next one's Mike. I guess to answer your question, to what separates us from other brands and where I get my inspiration from is brands like Supreme and Off-White and kind of those boutique fashion brands, but also bringing that to the fashion world. And that's kind of why our colors are standing out. Our hoodies are not loosely being like an athletic hoodie. They're tightly fit. Nice material. So we look for basically. These hoodies mean things, and for you to be a Next Ones supporter, is to have these Next Ones classic hoodies, and it means to support us in the beginning run. Right now, I know a selective amount of how many are made. They're gonna bring different opportunities and prizes and different situations like that in the future. So that's what our meeting right now is about with our merch. But when it comes to athletes, there's a feature on our website that. Next Ones is also an outlet for them to collab with us so they can get their merch off. So a lot of obstacle that I faced when I was in college, that I had my own personal brand. A lot of my friends supported, but I didn't have the means or the knowledge or the production to make anything. Even in NCAA, you're not allowed to make money. So even if you have your own brand, but now 2021 with the likeness situation changing. A lot of these athletes, shout out to Jelly Fam or Zion's brand or Cozy Fits and things like that. Now they're eligible to monetize on their likeness and actually be a Next Ones athlete.
Man, that's a lot, man. I'm glad that you mentioned the monetization in the NCAA. With your guys' database being mainly NCAA players, even high school too. But I know you guys are starting to really branch out and do a lot of college highlights. For your guys' brand and Next Ones, what do you guys typically look for in your athletes, or what catches the eye for you? Like, oh, he's the next one, or you guys be like, he's the next one that we need to put him in a database or something in that form. Like, we just have to have him on our platform.
Yeah. So right now, if you go to nextones.com, we have 13,000 profiles from NBA and all levels overseas. So CBA, French League, Spain, Australia, G League. So we don't have high school yet, but we're going to get to that point. But basically, when it comes to being a Next Ones athlete, is like I said, underdiscovered. I know there's a lot of players like yourself. I think I met you in that aspect, and I'm like, where you hoop at? Yeah, where do you go? There's so many talented players out there that don't have the platform to be seen, and going to college, as we can tell, with a lot of draft picks, we can get to that later. Yeah. It might not be the best obstacle, but with the power of social media and the internet nowadays, kind of levels the playing field for a lot of guys, give more opportunities. No one would think that, if you Google me and look at my stats, you would never think that I was a pro overseas. You look at my stats overseas, if I'm a pro, you'd be like, okay, you produced. But to get to that point, I played a role when I was in college. But, if you believe in yourself, and have the aspirations to, do what you want to do and achieve your dreams, you're going to work hard for it. And the NextOnes makes that process a lot easier. And every obstacle I personally have to face is a feature and a problem we're solving in the basketball community. I'm not the only one.
Man, glad to speak on that. Man, true story. I did meet you guys at the open run. I think that was the first time I really got exposure to LA basketball open runs. That was the first one I was actually invited to, heard about. It went pretty well for me. You guys had the whole setup. I mean, the photography, the media was there. Like I said, it was perfect. Games of 7. People was lining up. It was competitive. You guys had the right format, the formula to make it a competitive open run. Because nowadays you see most open runs are strictly private invite, or it's it's who you know. You guys was on Instagram. You guys promoting, hey, DM us if you guys want to come. So it gave the platform for anybody to come. It wasn't just I wouldn't say a selfish act, but it was more of a let's get everybody under one roof to hoop. And I think that's a great formula that you guys do have that carries on, and you guys keep growing with that. And just some typical background. Can you just give me a couple of names of people that are in you guys' database? Because you guys, like you said, you have 13,000, but like who are people that just are on the database that it could be familiar names or even unknown names that can trigger something on this episode?
Yeah. So the beauty of NextOnes is either you can Google names or you can go to our website, and we also have a leaderboard. So we developed an algorithm that basically spits out a result of prospects. So I find myself finding prospects I don't even know about. You can find their stats, their content if we have highlights of them. So based on this season, I like Ronaldo Segu from Buffalo. I checked out a lot of his games.
Fan favorite.
Yeah, definitely a fan favorite. Very shifty. And like I said, 2 weeks ago, I might not even known about him, but I found him on the database because he was like top 5 one day. So I was like, oh, who is this? Another person to be on the lookout for. Shout out to my guy Dalton Thomas. He's called him the D2 killer from Washington.
Hometown.
Exactly, hometown man. He's on the Spurs right now, and I contribute a lot of our success to him. I was told by somebody, he's someone that need to be in our database. And, we got a lot of content out for him, and it helped him get more exposure. As soon as he, was on the draft board, started doing pre-draft workouts, we can just see the numbers going up and see our videos being featured in bigger platforms, articles, and things like that. So that's what NextOnes is about, is, giving players a playing field, and our website does that in a concise way.
Man, basketball, I believe, is it's a connecting sport, man. It connects people all around the world. It's crazy that you mentioned Dalton, because before he made D2, he wasn't even nobody knew him in Washington. He went to Western Washington D2, and he got hurt, but he didn't make really that much noise until the previous year before he went to Point Loma, and then just took the world by storm. And I think that with you guys in that database, people really got to find out about his game, his what he's strong, weaknesses, everything. It just had the whole 9. And congrats to him making the Spurs, and also shout out to DeJounte Murray, baby boy, another hometown product. So it's good to see 2 hometown products on the same team. And following up, we're just shifting over to the community question. How do you guys look to impact the community, even if it's not with basketball? Are you guys looking to make the jump with, giveaways and doing community work to that way people can feel more than just a basketball platform, and it's something that you guys are still keeping the city and upbringing the city?
Yeah, as you mentioned earlier, we have our NextOnes runs in the summertime and things like that. So that's what we currently do for community. A lot of guys that we connect with, so I connected with you. I would say, Ethan Anderson, shout out to him, USC. He's definitely a NextOnes athlete. I met him there. But we're starting to do more community events with charities and things like that. All in the works. It's very recent. I don't want to prematurely say anything, but be on the lookout. And I would say just purchase these hoodies, and you don't have to. You'll have some perks. So we got some things booming in the future. So like I said, with our merchandise that we have, it's the line that we're gonna have out. I'm not sure if you guys see, we have a new logo, things like that. That's gonna be next, but like I said, these hoodies would mean something. And if you do have this, maybe you'll get into more opportunities when we have these events or community stuff. So.
Perfect. You guys heard the man. Just from us on our side, from in the front row, we will be putting the logo on the video, just flashing it by the Instagram page. Make sure you guys do give a follow. Always want to stay updated. What's the website link? If you just tell me that, what's the website link so they can make sure they have it. I know it's probably pretty simple, but just want to hear from the man himself.
Make sure to follow us on Next Ones Network on Twitter, NXT1S, a little bit different. Next Ones Avery, myself, and also really simple, nextones.com. If you want to claim a profile, just DM us on social media. We'll verify your account, and you'll be able to upload your own content and connect with your fans.
And then I'm glad you mentioned that last part. How would an athlete, besides, the DM and connecting, how could an athlete want to become a part of the database if it's not through social media?
If it's not through social media, you can email us at info@nextones.com or myself at avery@nextones.com. Send me your highlight film. We'll have a personnel that'll go through the footage, verify your account, and we'll get you a hard code. Doesn't matter what level you are. We have, like I said, 13,000 profiles in our database, and it's a good opportunity for you to be seen. You're one click away.
Oh, you guys, here it is, man. My name is Cj Bussey, Cjblamen on Instagram. This is Avery. Any takeaways, Mr. Avery?
Hey, get your merch right here.
You guys heard the man. Thank you guys for watching this interview. Also, shout out to Ms. Shireen for hosting it, and then Mr. Dylan for being the cameraman behind. And be on the lookout for more news and updates from Ms. Shireen on In the Front Row, and also Dylan's futuristic talk show coming for all hoops. Peace, Lang Nation.